Welcome back to the channel, and let's just take in this moment. It's one of those I told you so moments. It's one of those moments where we can look back and say, well, we were right. Well, we warned you. And when I say we, I mean all of us out there, all of you watching this channel who are smart enough, switched on enough, and resistant enough to propaganda to realize that what happened in late February, early March, at the beginning of the Russia-NATO-Ukraine conflict, was indeed a mainstream media propaganda operation. Now, of all places, this has actually been uncovered by the Adelaide University. Big thumbs up to them. Shout out for the Adelaide University. Well done. Shout out for declassified AussieCossack, who actually exposed this story, and to a journalist called Peter. Well done. So I'm very happy to bring you this story, guys. The Adelaide University has actually uncovered that in the beginning of the situation between Russia and Ukraine, in the first week of the conflict, a massive organized pro-Ukraine influence operation was actually underway from the early stages of the conflict. Now, overall, the study found automated bot accounts to be the source of around 80% of all tweets in the data set. So we're talking about Twitter. We're talking about 3.5 million tweets with the hashtag I stand with Ukraine in the first week. Now, remember in the first week, everyone was out there going crazy, putting Ukrainian flags on their profiles and saying, I stand with Ukraine. All these Western leaders and Western governments were committing money and weapons and billions of dollars. Well, guess what? It was no accident. It was a coordinated propaganda attack. Now, the way they do it is they have the algorithm, they have the big platforms on their side. So people like me, people like us out there, we're absolutely disadvantaged in the informational war. We're on our own. Not only we're on our own, they do everything possible to stop us, to demonetize, deplatform, to censor, to basically stop us from bringing you the news. Now, let's just have a look at the data here, and I'll bring you this on screen. On the 24th of February, pro-Ukraine bot activity suddenly burst into life. In that first day of the conflict, hashtag I stand with Ukraine was used in as many as 38,000 tweets every hour, rising to 50,000 tweets an hour by day 3 of the conflict. Now, these are not people tweeting. These were bots. And this has been uncovered that none other than the Adelaide University in Australia. So well done to Australia. Well done to the Adelaide University for actually uncovering this. And here's a graph showing the hourly frequency of the selected stand with hashtags. Now, the anti-Russian hashtag I stand with Ukraine was pushed mainly by automated bots, and it flooded Twitter in the first week of the Russian invasion. But of course, we call it not invasion, we call it liberation. And we know now that it wasn't an invasion, it was actually a way of the Russians to demilitarize and denazify the opponents in the area, including NATO. Now, given the apparent long-range planning for this conflict, cyber experts expressed a surprise that Russian cyber and internet responses were so lagged. And I'm talking to you now, Russia. I'm talking to the ambassador in Canberra. I'm talking to the consul in Sydney. I'm talking to all of you. You lost the informational war. In fact, you're still losing it. And it's no coincidence. The West is very, very strong in this. As you can see from the statistics, millions and millions of automated bots firing away hashtags and basically popularizing the idea of people supporting Ukraine. And it's no coincidence that in the beginning of the war, we had influencers and TikTokers and YouTubers and Twitter people all of a sudden becoming Ukrainian war experts. They went from talking about lipstick and taking photos of their lunch, and their gym routines to talking about the Ukrainian war. It's unbelievable that this happened, but we know now that it was not an accident. We know, very interestingly, the I stand with Russia hashtag was very small, reaching only 4,000 tweets an hour. Now that's because it was natural. And after just a few days of the operation, the pro-Russian hashtag activity had dropped away completely. Why is that? That's because all of the pro-Russian accounts were blocked all over the place. And many people were censored if they spoke up against NATO, against the deep state, the cabal, and the New World Order, which was, fighting Russia using Ukraine as a proxy.